Imagine it's 1915. The world is a vastly different place, teetering on the edge of unprecedented global conflict. The world is at war, and amidst the chaos, nations are grappling with the horrors of World War I, a conflict that has engulfed continents and reshaped borders. Amidst this global turmoil, a tragedy unfolds in the Ottoman Empire that would forever scar human history. This tragedy is not just a footnote in the annals of history, but a profound and devastating event that echoes through time. This is the story of the Armenian Genocide, a horrific chapter between 1915 and 1923. It is a story of unimaginable suffering, loss, and the resilience of a people who faced systematic annihilation. On April 24, 1915, the Ottoman government began arresting and executing Armenian intellectuals and community leaders in Constantinople. This day is now commemorated as Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day, marking the beginning of a dark period in history. This marked the beginning of a systematic campaign to eradicate the Armenian people from their historic homeland. The Ottoman authorities orchestrated a plan that would lead to the near destruction of an entire ethnic group. Armenians, who had been living in the region for thousands of years, were suddenly declared enemies of the state. Their rich cultural heritage and deep-rooted presence in the area were disregarded in the face of political and military objectives. Over the next 8 years, approximately 1.5 million Armenians were killed through mass executions, forced labor, and death marches into the Syrian desert. These death marches were brutal, with countless men, women, and children perishing from starvation, dehydration, and exhaustion. The Ottoman government meticulously planned and executed this genocide, using it as a tool to suppress the Armenian population and confiscate their wealth and property. This was not a series of random acts of violence, but a coordinated effort to erase the Armenian presence. Survivors were subjected to unimaginable atrocities, with women and children often sold into slavery or left to die from starvation and exhaustion. The stories of those who lived through this period are harrowing, filled with accounts of suffering and loss. The world watched, largely in silence. The international community, preoccupied with the broader conflict of World War I, failed to intervene in any meaningful way, and while some diplomats and missionaries tried to raise awareness, global attention was focused on World War I. Their efforts, though noble, were insufficient to halt the atrocities. The lack of immediate intervention allowed the genocide to continue unchecked. This inaction set a dangerous precedent, showing that such crimes could be committed with impunity. This atrocity wasn't just about the numbers, it was about the destruction of a culture, a history, and a people. The Armenian Genocide aimed to erase not just lives but the very identity of the Armenian people. The cultural destruction was immense, with countless churches, schools, and cultural institutions destroyed. The loss of cultural heritage was a blow to the collective memory and identity of the Armenian people. The Armenian Genocide set a grim precedent for the 20th century, becoming a blueprint for future genocides. It demonstrated how systematic extermination could be carried out under the guise of war and political necessity. It wasn't until decades later that the genocide began receiving the recognition it deserved. The long road to acknowledgement has been fraught with political and diplomatic challenges. Today, many countries and scholars acknowledge the Armenian Genocide, but there are still those who deny it ever happened. This denial is not just a matter of historical debate, but a continuation of the injustice faced by the Armenian people. This denial adds salt to the wounds of the Armenian community, who continue to fight for justice and recognition. Their struggle is a testament to the enduring impact of the genocide and the importance of historical truth. Understanding the Armenian Genocide is crucial because it teaches us the dangers of intolerance and the consequences of silence. It is a powerful reminder of the need for vigilance and action in the face of injustice. It's a stark reminder of what can happen when hatred goes unchecked. The lessons of the Armenian Genocide are as relevant today as they were a century ago. If you found this video insightful, hit like and subscribe to watch more content on the channel. Your engagement helps us continue to explore and share important historical events. Together, we can learn from the past to build a better future. By understanding history, we can work towards a world where such atrocities are never repeated. Thank you for watching. Your interest in history helps keep the memory of these events alive and ensures that the lessons learned are not forgotten.